Artworks is made possible in part by the citizens of Baltimore County and by the Ruth R. Martyr Arts Endowment Fund, the Robert E. Meyerhoff and Rita Becker Endowment for the Arts, the E.T. and Robert B. Rockland Fund, the Henry and Ruth Blaustein Rosenberg Foundation Arts Endowment in memory of Ruth Martyr. Hi, I'm your host, Wendel Patrick. In this episode, we delve into the art of conducting. Join me as I sit down with the imaginative and insightful conductor, Joseph Young, whose passion for music is evident in every performance.
The best part of this melody is it doesn't come back. And I need you to make it feel like it's very special. You just have to let it fall into place. And for me, you're really trying to show everything, but I want you to really make sure that everyone feels the flow of lines like this. So I want you to just be a little bit more soupy, like just swimming in the sound instead of sewing the sound. Now flow. Let go, let go. Good. One. I want you to, can you think there's like a bigger orchestra right now? I think you're trying to think this sound. I want this to feel like you're inviting everyone to be a part of this swirl of sound. When you think about what conducting is, we're trying to guide the whole orchestra. There are times where I'm asking my conducting students to try to find that independence of their hands. One hand maybe just, keeping time, being that metronome for the orchestra so they understand the pacing of music. And the left hand may be showing a little bit more of the intent of the sound, whether you want them to play softly, if you want them to play short, if you want them to really present the sound to them. So you gain this vocabulary as a musician, but also as a conductor, and we have to interpret that as a musician.
I've been studying conducting for a long time. I think conducting is still mysterious to me sometimes. But one thing that is very clear is that as a musicians, I think we are still an artist, a creative being. And sometimes when we sit and play instruments, we just get stuck in what's on the score, and then we try to just reproduce what's on the page. But I think as a conductor, my role, I believe, is to really inspire musicians to be a creative being, to be an artist.
If you're a kid in a youth orchestra and the conductor is sort of in charge of keeping everyone together. If somebody rushes, if somebody slows down, but then especially being involved in conductor's orchestra at Peabody, you really see a lot of conductors have a lot to contribute musically and how to do that. It's almost like a psychology lesson, even more than it is science.
Joseph, it's great to see you.
Great to see you too.
Here we are at Peabody Conservatory. How long have you been here?
Oh, I think this is my 7th year, yeah.
7th year, wow, okay. It's wonderful to have you as a colleague. And I just want to ask you, I'm curious, what is your earliest non-participatory musical memory?
My earliest non-participatory musical memory would be, just watching my mother sing in the church choir. Yeah.
Okay. And at what point did you start singing or playing instruments yourself?
I started playing the trumpet in 6th grade. My dad wanted me to do something to keep me out of trouble, and I was horrible at soccer, so we decided to, go the music route, and that was the first time I started studying music.
And were you taking lessons weekly?
So I was in the band program, public school band program, and I didn't have lessons until maybe I was 16 years old, and so I was just learning through the classes in the band program.
And do you play other instruments as well?
No.
And so at what point did you find yourself considering leading an ensemble from a directorial role or perspective? Do you remember the first time you sort of got an inkling?
Well, I think I would say the first time I got the inkling was in South Carolina, my aunt, who I always went to stay with after school, lived across the street from where the marching band rehearsed. And so after school, as a middle school kid, I always watched the high school marching band rehearsing, and I was always fascinated by the drum major that was standing up there. So that was the inkling of it, getting the idea of what does this conductor do? But it wasn't until I was 16 years old that I actually got the opportunity to see an orchestra and stand in front of an ensemble, and it was the sheer sound of all of that got me excited about being in front of that sound, and I was like, this is what I want to do.
Even I think in the classical music world or jazz world, being a leader of an ensemble it's unusual.
Yeah, and at 16, you tell your parents, I want to be a conductor. They say, what does that mean? And really, I did not know what that meant. I didn't really understand that there was an industry, an orchestra industry out there. I knew only the educational world. I knew the band world. I knew that young kids were playing. And my parents said, and I was the first one to actually go to college, and they said, I hear what you want to do. I think the best thing to do is go to college for music education and discover how to, make those steps forward. And so I went and did my undergrad in music education, and I actually fell in love with teaching. So I decided to teach high school. And that's a form of conducting. You're leading a high school group. You're trying to influence them musically. But I wanted to really dive deeper into the pieces that I started falling in love with. The first score I ever bought was The Rite of Spring. I fell in love as a trumpet player with Mahler symphonies. I wanted to do the big stuff.
I've always been incredibly impressed with conductors. I've had a few experiences where I've played as a piano soloist and a few other experiences as a vocalist as well, but the sheer sort of breadth of knowledge and attention to detail that a conductor seems to need to have, because again, I've never done that, is almost mind-boggling.
It is mind-boggling because the biggest role of anyone in that position is you have to have that curiosity. You have to keep it open it has to be your livelihood. The idea of discovering new things. Even if it's an old piece, a Beethoven symphony, I don't open that up the 7th time. and want it to sound like the sixth time. You know, I want to open it up and really continue to dive deeper. And when I look at a new piece, it's the same thing. You are discovering the composer's voice, you're discovering the different ideas that you have to communicate to the orchestra. And so this puzzle, that starts to be put together from the first day of opening a score. It becomes my duty, but not only a duty, it's like the joy of conducting.
And so the last thing I want to ask you is, what are you looking forward to in the next year, 2 years, 3 years?
Oh, wow. I look forward to exploring even more repertoire. You know, this concert that I'm doing with Peabody, I said this is the Rite of Spring is the first score that I bought. This is going to be the first time I ever conducted, and it's just amazing. Like, I'm still doing my first. I'm just excited to meet more orchestras, but continuing to just grow as a musician. So, yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to in the next 3 years. That's all I can say.
Yeah. Well, it's really truly a pleasure to know you and to have you as a colleague, and just to be able to witness what you do artistically and musically is a huge inspiration to me. So just
thank you so much.
Thank you.
Anytime you put a group of talented people up on the stage, it's going to showcase what community means.
It's really my job to just kind of bring us together as one musical voice. Not easy to do, but it's wonderful when it happens.
The Michigan Philharmonic is a regional professional orchestra made up of players from all around the Detroit area and sometimes even beyond. And we have our world headquarters, we like to say, here in Plymouth. We sort of call ourselves the nomadic orchestra because we travel all around and we play pretty much across southeast Michigan. We are still considered what they would label a per-service orchestra, meaning that we hire for each concert that we do. But we have a great, terrific core group of players that do everything with us. And conductor Nan Washburn, who came in here 20 years ago, so we're celebrating her 20th season with us. And that was a little bit of a stretch for an orchestra that had been just existing as kind of in a community model for all that time. To bring, first of all, a woman, somebody from California, and to come here to this kind of small town and really change things up a bit. And she certainly did.
I come from a very diverse kind of community, and I was so happy to find that same diversity when I came to Southeast Michigan. And I've also branched out in lots of other different kinds of music, and I just feel that it's really important that any orchestra reflect the community at large.
The Naniversary is our little play on words for celebrating the beginning of her 20th season with the Michigan Philharmonic.
This is kind of a Nan's wish list. I asked for a little bit bigger orchestra than we normally can afford, so that offered a few things, and I just wanted to put 4 great pieces together. So I'm starting off with a piece that's brand new to me, Berlioz' Roman Carnival Overture, which is just exciting and a great start to the season. And then I'm so happy that we've invited Danielle Belen to be our violin soloist. And when I heard about her, and I thought, I want to do the Samuel Barber Violin Concerto, which is just one of my favorites. It's just a fabulous piece. And she's just knock your socks off, terrific.
I was absolutely delighted when Nan Washburn reached out to me to solo with her orchestra. She mentioned the Barber Violin Concerto, and that was the clincher. I think you have to have a lot of grit to play this piece.
And then after intermission, we're going to do a piece by Wael Benali. His piece is called Earth, and it was written for a climate change conference in Qatar. It's very tuneful and beautiful. Last piece is Hindemith's Symphonic Metamorphosis, which is a piece that goes way back for me, and it's just happy and fun and big and splashy, and I thought, that's a great anniversary.
It's really fantastic to have the opportunity to work with an orchestra that has a female at the helm. The orchestra also has a lot of respect for her because she's incredible at what she does, and she's passionate about them and about the soloists that she brings in. You feel a lot of authenticity.
That's it. So just, it's mainly in the middle of the phrases that we can't slow down. The ends we can do a little bit, but mostly not on the second part of the variation. Everything that you bring to conducting is so unique. It's learning the music, understanding what you want to say in the music. It's an interpretive thing, but I always go back to see what the composer intended. You have to figure out a style, all of that, and then you have to figure out gestures that will hopefully get the sound and the ensemble that you have in your head.
She's definitely an advocate for women conductors because, first of all, we always like to say she really is in a man's world. There are a lot of people that when they look up on that stage and they don't see a guy, they're like, wait, what's going on here? But there are lots more women conductors out there now. Joanne Folletta, there are a lot of people that are making quite a name for themselves. And Nan is one of them, too. We've won lots of national awards, and a lot of it is because of her and because of the programming that she's done.
This is my first introduction to this orchestra, and I look forward to future collaborations with them. They're a fantastic group of people. I could not imagine working with a more spirited and hardworking group.
I'd like to think that we are all very proud about where the orchestra has gone. I mean, that's the thing about different conductors. They all have a vision, and I had a very specific one, heavily on education and the multicultural thing, and bringing in new composers and making the orchestra grow in excellence. And I think we've achieved that. So at a plateau, we will go on from there too.
Welcome. Thank you for being here. Thanks for so glad you're here. Come on in. What is your love for music?
It's an amazing phenomenon, and it is really hard to put into words what makes music so powerful and how it moves us. I always feel happiest when after a concert someone says, I was moved by that. because that means their soul really was transported, it was uplifted, and they were inspired, and possibly they can take that away from the concert hall and feel differently as they go through the streets, continuing. And so there is a certain magic about music. How did a composer like Beethoven, who wrote a piece over 200 years ago, wrote something that we are still moved by now? He was genius. I mean, it's fantastic. And then we look at, okay, throughout the years, orchestras have had different styles and traditions, and they've played that Beethoven symphony many different ways. And yet people are still moved by all the different ways that people speak it. And then you look at the conductor. The conductor doesn't say a word in the performance. They don't make any noise at all. And yet somehow they're connecting with all the musicians on stage, and we're all listening to each other and breathing together, and we somehow play in harmony. How does that all work? It's one of the greatest mysteries, but I am obsessed by it. I love to see how I can go deeper into that experience. And what helps me is to really know everyone's part, and then I can just connect to it, even if it's just on my little finger. It's just having all those people combine with the same joy of the music, and then somehow the audience feels like they're right there on stage with us. I love it. It's fantastic.
You're here in Santa Fe representing Pro Musica and the Women of Distinction Initiative. Tell me about why you think it's important for a woman to be in the arts, especially in a leadership role.
Well, historically, I think there haven't been a lot of female leaders in the arts, and so I think we're coming to a time when everyone is more open-minded about what women can do with their careers. And so when I was growing up, my mum said, "Gemma, you can do whatever career you like, so long as you work hard and you have talent." And I actually, she said, even being a woman. And I laughed at her because I thought, of course,
yeah.
Why
Right.
would that make a difference? And for me, it really, I think I've worked hard at this career for about 17 years now. And it's always a long and steady road, just growing incrementally, but it's something that I really believe in, and I want to continue pursuing. I think for others, it's encouraging for them to see a female leader in this role, because it makes them think that they can do it as well. And I think we're seeing more and more female conductors, which is really exciting.
Can you remember a specific time when you were much younger, when music just spoke to you? You knew it was this divine message that came to you and said, you will be a musician, you will be a conductor. Do you have a memory like that?
I do, yes. I was 12 years old playing the violin in a youth orchestra. And so I think that's why I love youth orchestras so much. There were 200 of us on stage, and we did a really powerful piece, Mussorgsky's Pictures at an exhibition. And in the Great Gates of Kiev, I made a promise to my young self to always be part of an orchestra. I didn't know exactly how it would pan out. And then when I was 15, I got first chance to conduct, and I said to my best friend that night, I was like, this is it. This is what I want to pursue. And the road just started from there. Started asking questions. That's the biggest thing. Be curious.
Do women bring something unique to orchestral conducting?
I think that everyone brings something unique to orchestral conducting and to music. As an artist, it is our job to find what we are uniquely strong at, what our potential is and how to get there in realizing that potential, what our weaknesses are that we really need to work on. And it's finding that unique voice that you have. Who are you as a person? Especially as a conductor, it's all about communication. So how do you communicate both very efficiently in words in rehearsal, where it's in front of a lot of people, it's not private, and yet it has to be so direct and somehow resonate with that person in a high stakes environment, and also physically, how you show the music without talking, without using words. And also sometimes it's just a miracle, how maybe telepathically we connect.
I mean, that's a really important leadership role. What do you bring to it as a woman?
Leadership skills that I find very important are being a good listener. So for the first rehearsal, when I meet an orchestra, especially for the first time, but even if it's one that I've met for many times and I'm just seeing where we are at in the first rehearsal, I want to know what they're giving, and then being able to build upon that foundation and unifying everyone's voice so that we have a really strong unified interpretation at the end of the week.
Your end goal is to create the best collaboration possible, and you at the helm need to kind of navigate those areas.
Yes, and it's definitely creating an environment on stage. That's what a leader does. We have to have the artistic vision of the piece, but also how we are going to work as a team. So I really tried to make a positive environment, very supportive of each other, and one where we all very much mutually respect what we are bringing, because everyone's voice is valuable in an orchestra.
What do you hope to achieve with your work?
I really hope to bring people together and to make people feel uplifted. And that's what I fell in love with when I was 12 years old, the fact that I was creating something that was bigger than myself, and it was the idea that when we come together, we can create something powerful.